Good morning, everybody. I want to bring the last installment in my series on the Discipleship Course. This is video number 12, and this time the subject is leadership and strategy, which is knowing the will of God together. Do you remember we started at the very beginning, knowing the will of God for oneself? Well, today it's knowing the will of God together. And it's the subject of leadership. And of course, there is so much that could be said about leadership. But I just want to bring out a number of simple things. Leadership is knowledge. It's knowledge about where to go and how to look after yourself and others. Leadership is knowing the will of God, not just for yourself, but for a community, for a group of people, or for a church, or for a mission. And leadership is being able to inspire people to follow you or to be with you. And leadership is being able to teach people how to serve. And leadership is being an example to those who follow you. And so there's a lot of skills involved in leadership. There's the leadership of finding the will of God. That's an important feature of leadership. There's leadership in asking God to work in the lives of a community of people in his own way. There is the leadership of believing God to do his will, and there is the leadership of knowing the way in which people fall and how they recover. So there's a lot of skills there. And strategy is seeing the big picture. You see, it's possible to lose a battle but win a war. And strategy is not about individual battles. Strategy is about the whole thing, the big picture, the whole plan. It's seeing all of the greater implications of what you do in small ways. Now, tactics is a different thing altogether. Tactics is seeing those little steps on the long journey together. It's understanding the little things which have to fit in to the overall strategy. And so we come to a few questions. First question is, have you come to a time in which you have discovered exactly where you know the will of God is for a community or for a church or for a mission? And secondly, how are you being enabled to inspire people to move forward with you? Thirdly, how are you able to teach people how to serve God with you? And lastly, how are you going to be an example to those who follow your lead? Now, the practical task for this week is a number of things. It's practical task number 12, but there's a number of aspects to it, and this may take quite some time to do, but it's something to set out and to begin. The first thing is my statement of faith and principles. Now, at the very beginning, we talked about my gospel. Now we're going to be talking about my statement of faith and principles. Now, a statement of faith is a statement of all those things that you honestly have come to believe in. It's a statement of those things that you believe, but it's also a statement of those principles that govern how you think and how you make decisions. Okay? A statement of faith and principles. Also, alongside that, but quite separate to it, is my statement of purpose. Now, a statement of purpose is quite simply a statement. It can be very short, in which you say, my overall purpose in life and ministry is, and then you write underneath what that is. And this may be something very small. My personal statement of overall purpose was something that was written many years years ago. And it's never needed, I've never needed to update it, I've never needed to develop it further. It's something which is a fixed thing, and it's something that's very, very important. And it's one thing to understand what you believe, it's one thing to understand the principles on which you're operating, but the point is this: that needs to have one single purpose. What is it that I propose to do? Somebody may say, well, I'm just going to do what God wants me to do. Well, I understand that. We all understand that. The question is, what is that one thing that you are seeking to do? The third thing is my understanding of our overall mission together. You see, the church will not follow you. The church will not take your lead if it does not understand what is the overall mission together. Okay? And then fourthly, my understanding of those little steps that move in that direction. And there may be lots of little steps that take you to that. But for example, let's suppose you're talking about a journey. First of all, you need to understand what is the ultimate destination. However, on that journey, you might need to make a note of all those little places and those towns and those stopping places where you would stop and where you need to achieve all the way along that journey. So there we are. This is the end now of the Discipleship Course. I'm trusting that it's been a blessing and a help to you as much as it's been to me. Of course, the teacher always gets more benefit than the students generally, because I've had to think much more deeply about what all this means for me. I trust it's been a blessing, and we want to wish you every blessing for the future. God bless you all. Bye for now.